Remembered my game with Jade and was determined not to be caught. Looking back, how did I feel about this discovery? Then as now, not very good. For a long while I was powerfully affected by the images of the boy, the dog, and Lady Candida. They were beautifully captured, and I thought nothing more of the painting. Then, as time passed, as if a blindfold was removed from my eyes, many things that I could not see or previously understand were clearer and better understood. But carrying this knowledge exacted its own price. I was determined not to mention this to anyone, in particular Lady Candida. I felt I had unlocked not only a side door, but also a secret that had enlarged my understanding, and at once I felt disturbed and empowered. After my game of hide and seek, I became more thoughtful. My position in the household, for example, was not one to be envied, well-dressed though I was. But surely, I reasoned, this was the best way forward to becoming an English gentleman. But this well-meaning boyish ambition was now not one that sat easily with me. It was more to be pitied, for like the boy in the painting, I too was a human pet, while the spotted dog in the painting was a pet of the animal kind. What was also true of myself and the dog was that we all belonged to the lady, in the same way that I was with Master Liley. But having entertained these thoughts, I reminded myself that I was now free in England. And so I began to see that the huge mansion in which I was allowed to move about so freely was no less binding than the island plantation and its big house. For after all was said and done, I was still property, like the foul-mouthed Mr. Liley had said. In this case, I was now the property of the mistress of Cranford Mansions, the woman who had made a pile from sugar produced by people like myself. Cranford Mansions was truly the product of generations of black men, women, and children on the cane fields. In truth, this magnificent pile was a step up the property ladder, so to speak. Thus, I graduated from being a plantation slave and servant in the island's big house to human pet and servant in Cranford Mansions, England. Having chanced upon one of the mansion's secrets, now I overheard something else that disturbed me. "The fall in income, my lady," said Lord Bellicoe, a distant relative of Lady Candida, "is to be put at the door of the priest and his damned Methodist church." "How come? Who's this ghastly man?" Lady Candida inquired. "He must be stopped from doing more damage." "Who is this man?" "A priest." "A priest?" Lady Candida questioned. "My lady, he's an Englishman, Father Thomas Patterson, who administers to the island's Methodists. I hear he allows slaves into his church, which is why it is always full." Why, you may well ask. The simple answer is that he sees slaves as God's people too, and he sees slavery as an abomination. An abomination? The man must be stopped. Lady Candida's shout was unlike anything I had heard from her. "We are doing all we can," said Lord Bellicoe. "Cranford Mansions could not exist were it not for the smooth running of sugar production and our properties. We must stop the preacher. See to it, Bellicoe," said the lady. It was a short exchange between the Lord and Lady, but enough to fill the room with tension and rising anger. The charming Lady Candida was not amused. She was transformed.